Friday, Hexicans and Pulsicans, and happy we are going to effing win day. Guys, yesterday went so well from what I could tell as far as everyone who was in the court. The Richard Hart versus the SEC in the actual freedom of movement and speech on blockchain was it went well yesterday. So I if you guys follow Nuclear Herbs, he's a great resource as far as this crazy legal battle that we're going through, and he's seen it all before, and so he's got some really, in my opinion, some very bullish outlook on yesterday's court case. Man, I mean, as even hearing that Judge Auntie Carroll was saying, like, I don't care what happened with the SAC funds. Like, that was his money. Like, that was very interesting that she was not interested in so-called buying some diamond or some Ferraris. And so that was a very interesting take. And it seemed like, from what I can understand, is that the SEC attorneys were playing the defensive the whole entire time through this court case, with Richard Hart's attorneys playing the offensive. And at one point, they'd even, I guess, I heard from Sami at one point, and of course he wasn't there, but maybe he heard of the party, right? Like that. The SEC tried to get and if you guys were there, confirm in the chat. There was like 80 people there too, which is really cool. You guys did a good job. I'm so effing happy and proud of you guys. They showed up. I wish I could have gone. I really could have. Really wish I could have. But that at some point, the SEC attorneys were like, "Hey, all you guys in the courtroom here, who is from the U.S. and who was harmed by this, by Richard Hart." And the judge like, "No, you're not going to do that." And the judge literally put a stop to that. And so it's interesting. It's looking very bullish, guys. Nuclear Herb's not going to give his estimates on what who he thinks is going to win this outcome, because obviously he is an attorney and he doesn't want to get any forward-looking expectations. And I get all that, but man, guys, I think it's I think we got this thing won. I mean, maybe it's an 80%, 20%. I don't know, man. I think this is a sealed deal. Yeah. Give me your thoughts, what you're thinking. If you guys are there, I'd also love to hear your input. But from every single thing that I've heard so far, that transpired during that court case, it was all very, bullish on the Richard Hart side. So I don't know, man. I think we see this, dismissed by Christmas. I could be wrong. I'm a dude on the internet who speculates on his own money. But it's looking really good, guys. So, I'm happy. I'm glad you guys showed up, which is really cool. 80 of you guys were in there, and they had an overflow room, which is exactly what I wanted, man. I wanted the main courtroom to be full, and then I wanted an overflow. So the judge is like, oh, who are all these people? The supposedly people that he harmed, and they're here to represent him and back him, and they're here because they believe in him. Yeah, that's what I wanted. So that was that's awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, so we'll see, man. Guys, I think it's gonna be an amazing bull run. So let's check in with you guys. Today is Open Mic Friday, though. I want to make sure that we get on here and talk about anything you guys want to talk about, whether it be crypto, real estate, the court case. Come on and talk about the court case. We'd love to hear some other perspectives and input about it, right? I'm going to drop the link in the chat. and any of you guys can come on. Feel free, as long as I can see you on camera before you come on, because that's the main thing. I don't want you guys coming on here and getting crazy, flashing nudity to YouTube and getting me shut down. So yeah, but feel free to come on. In the meantime, let's go look at the secret chart and see how it's doing. I always like to check in there to make sure we're not scammed. Make sure that we're in the right place at the right time. And I got a feeling we are, but we're going to take a look real quick. Yep. Looking good, guys. We are bouncing back out of that last pullback against Ethereum. So there it is. Man, that is awesome. So now we're making higher lows, lower highs, whatever you want. Yeah. You got 1, 2, 3. We'll see what happens with this, if it goes down or if it continues trending up. This is exciting, guys. This is on the weekly. It's a line chart. I like to keep stuff simple around here so we can just know exactly what's going on, where we're at. I'm super bullish on ETH still. And I think Pulse is going to be great leverage on ETH. And then if you want leverage on Pulse, you can buy all these other little things over here that I have in my saved view. Yeah, you can buy all this stuff. It's going to be great leverage on Pulse. But man, this is super, super cool. I am excited. Let me stop screen sharing and go back and check in with you guys real quick. We got Red Squirrel. Oi, what up, my man? How we doing? And there's the man, the myth, the legend, Kaiser. What's up, brother? Man, I'm so blessed that you're back. Francis, hello. Yadlin, win. Keep on buying, man. I am, bro. Like I'm gonna do another DCA this coming up week. I did a DCA last week. I got me some hex down there close to the penny. Wasn't quite at a penny. It was right above it where it was last bottom. I mean, I caught the local bottom. It was nice. And yeah, picked up another bag of it. And then it started taking off like literally the next day, which was cool. When the judge called the prosecution rec pledge out, Brizology, that never happened. The judge didn't call the prosecution rec plans. You guys are crazy, Brizology. That is not what happened there. But hey, man, we can dream, right? We can dream. Sack rate incoming. Yeah, it will. When will it come? I don't know. I'm trying to bring Norbert on stage. For some reason, his video is not working. So I'm going to. Norbert, if you can go back in and out, that'd be great. For some reason, the video is being weird. The Beach Swell, do you want a dismissal or do we want victory? To me, a victory. Yeah, I mean, look, man, I'll take either or, but a dismissal is a victory too in its own regard, right? Like the attorneys are, pursuing it, and that would be a win for this part of the equation, right? And that part of the equation literally stomps out the whole rest of the, lawsuit, right? That's what's great about it. So it's tough, man. I get where you're getting at. He goes in and kicks the SEC's ass all the way down the line. It could be more victorious, but man, it's just it's getting old. I want it over with. I want clarity. I would like to get clarity sooner than later, but hey, if it goes either way, I am here for it no matter what. That's also the thing. No matter what happens, I am here for it. And yeah, I think it's going to be a good outcome. But man, they going to get dismissed, man. I mean, dude, the arguments on their side were so weak. And from everything I've seen and heard, like, I think it's very good odds. And once again, I could be wrong. Looks like they are going our way, but no matter what happens, they can't stop us from buying or selling our favorite pulse chain assets. They can't turn it off no matter what. That's right, man. They can't. It's true DeFi. It's worldwide. That's the great part about it. You can't stop the blockchain. That was another thing. I guess like the judge is like, well, where is this blockchain located? And they're like, the SEC couldn't answer. There was like, I don't know, in space. Like, it's so great, man. Like, where is this blockchain? Make this shit up, man. Put your hands up. Yeah, that's what the SEC wanted to do. Dora, they wanted to try to get the people who were there to support them to to put their hands up, man. It's just freaking ridiculous. Better getting a dismissal quicker, as it will never get to the end. Be thrown out at some point. Yeah, I agree to that too, man. We got 5 days between the freaking massive Trump pump that's coming in. And either way, I think that's where, if he throws Gary Gensler out of office, it's definitely good news for us. You know what? Man, the guys, if you're not freaking buying this shit, undervalued, man, this is like, how do you not see this? The writing is on the effing wall, man. The writing is there. The tide has turned for an amazing bull run after about 3 years. Joe Biden bear market, SEC wrecked, and bulls are steaming ahead. I agree, Eddie. 120%. This is what's been a wild journey. That is for sure. Oh, Brizology. Yeah, man, that was funny. Calling SEC wrecked webs. Yeah, keep it up, man. Just spread that around Twitter. Maybe we can get that to catch steam. Benny Blanco, I'm so proud of everyone. We are still strong after everything has been thrown at us. I know, man. I'm telling you, dude. It has just been a bloodbath. Forward we march. Pulsican, insane gains. Hey, everyone. Great time to be a Hexakin. We shall win. And it's Benny Blanco. Where is the blockchain? Yeah, Norbert, where is the blockchain, bro? Are you there? You froze again. He froze again. I'm gonna come back out, come back in again, Norbert.
Sec.
There we go.
One sec.
I got you. Yeah, he's going back. I'll come back in. Yeah, where's the blockchain at? God, it's worldwide. That's where it's at. It's all of us. We are all the blockchain, right? Like I run a bunch of node validators, and that's a piece of the blockchain. You know what I mean? And then there's people over in Europe running a crap ton of node validators. The people, over in China is running some node validators. There's people, all across the world running these node validators. The blockchain is decentralized. It's everywhere. I don't know. Did the SEC say the blockchain was located in Finland? I'm sick of this. Yeah. That is good. Is the blockchain in the room with us right now? Yeah, but can you please point to the blockchain that is harming everybody, please? If the SEC spoke to Camilla, they would know the blockchain in the cloud above our heads. Where is the cloud? Oh, God, this shit's getting too good, man. The Hextanalist. Can I speak with the manager of the blockchain? They should bring out the doll and be like, did the blockchain harm you here or here? Where did the blockchain? Do I have a doll? My daughter's got to have something around here that make it funny. But you guys get the picture. Like the blockchain, I'm here or here. Please point. Oh my God, she can't make this shit up, man. Urban Productions, yeah, man. It's great. It's great. Chris A victory would be best, but maybe absolutely vindication. No one can say it's a scam anymore. Yeah, I agree. And loads of publicity. Hex government / continuously approved. To the moon we go. Agreed, man. Agreed. I love it. Let's see if we can get Norbert in here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Sorry, man. I just had to charge my car, and when I leave, the app is probably just interfering.
Oh, no
How
worries.
are you, man?
I'm blessed, man. It's Friday. We are looking more bullish, in my opinion, than we have ever looked in this ecosystem. Besides, like when we had all the FOMO pre-sack, right? This is the most bullish, I think, for me, and just the way I see see everything lining up, with this SEC court case yesterday for dismissal. Man, I'm just like, I wish I need to maybe go freaking pull out some credit cards, and so I could pull out another 100K and go back. Like I need to find every single dollar I possibly can to get into this chain right now, man. That's how I'm feeling.
I'm sure you're good, man. You had enough time to accumulate and build up your
I know
portfolio
I've
to
had
the
plenty of
decent
time
level.
to accumulate. I
But
have.
yeah, I get your point. Yeah, it's opportunity.
It
But
is.
like some of my friends who were being introduced to Hex around the sacrifice phase or a little bit earlier, some of them already sold all their bags, man. And one guy, for example, good Polish friend of mine, he put all his crypto into. He's following an expert, investor and crypto expert in Poland. And the guy was saying like, sell everything, whatever you got, and put it into Bitcoin. And when the time is right, then we're gonna sell Bitcoin and then we're gonna move to other assets. But until the time comes, he's suspecting that in the next 3 to 4 months, things gonna change, and that's when they wanna sell their Bitcoin and move their money into higher risk tokens,
Mm,
altcoins, and
I don't
then
know.
again
Like,
when the time comes, then cash out and then keep some of it in cash probably and some of it in Bitcoin and other things.
I mean, that would have been a perfect play, Norbert, back in 2022, and holding all your assets in Bitcoin as because the Bitcoin bottomed, and then like it was the one that kept moving up while everything else kept getting wrecked. And then about 6 months leading into the halving, that would have been the perfect time for the first rotation from Bitcoin into altcoins, where at that point you had like, I don't know, 3 to 6 months of parabolic movement. And that's when the Richard Hart assets actually started moving too. But man, all the data is leading that towards the end of the year here, or maybe a little after, and who knows, it could get pushed off a little bit. That's when we're going to really see altcoin season really going parabolic again. And if that's the case, that means you have to buy the depression. And I think that's right now in altcoins, where it could change any moment. Man, Ethereum to be obviously Ethereum to Bitcoin is always a main indicator, and it's looking like it's trying to find a bottom. It could go down a tad bit more, yes, but we are closer to the bottom than we are to the top with that chart. And I would be very hesitant on storing all my value in Bitcoin right now. I mean, that's a big gamble. One I wouldn't want to take at this point. Now, there's time for that. Like I said, a year after the Bitcoin halving is when the perfect time for that is. It's been shown historically that's the best time to go into Bitcoin. So I don't know, man.
And another reason why he was selling all his crypto because he didn't like the idea. Unfortunately, he burned himself with another token, and he put a fairly decent amount of money into that project. I don't remember the name of it, but it was one person uh, centered type of crypto, which is the same with our one, Richard. And that guy things didn't work out, and then
Mm.
yeah, it's just not gonna rug us. I'm not saying that, but he just didn't like the idea that the performance of that crypto
Yeah.
is related to the person itself. So that's why he took this thing. And to be honest with you, he did quite well because imagine that he nearly doubled his money since he sold all his Hex and everything,
Mm-hmm.
and so now he's got double the firepower. And if things starts moving because now he's really into it and learning from a very reputable person. Then the guy, he made a lot of millionaires in Poland. He knows what he's talking about. So he says, just hold, like in Braveheart, and then when the time is right, that's when they're gonna hit it, and they're just gonna be in for that period of time what you mentioned earlier, that parabolic kind of banana move. And once they see that people are taking pictures of their portfolio
That's time to
gaining
sell.
30%, and then they just gonna do it. So yeah, he's trying to do it a smarter way, and it's always, in my opinion, it's good to invest in education and learn from
Well, I agree
someone
with
who knows
that.
things better than yourself.
I agree with
You're
that.
a big you're a big advocate of that. You're always
Yeah,
always learning, and a big mastermind fan and stuff. So
that's absolutely 100% correct. But man, I mean, you want to buy things when they're in the dirt, depressed. And I feel like right now, this is here. I don't think, bro, we're going any lower. I mean, we could go lower on the shorter time frame, but we're not making new lower lows. It's not. We formed a bottom, and we're moving our way up from there. Like we're not going. And if we know that we're not going to go any lower than the all-time low now, like my opinion, once again, being in Bitcoin is definitely the wrong move. But I could be wrong. I'm a dude on the internet. You know, he just speculates on his own money, and that could be wrong. But I mean, I'm following all the professionals too, man. Like, you know, Pip Sniper, Hans, these guys who track this market stuff, you know, the cycles down to the T. They can get it like almost down to the day. They were calling, you know, the altcoin season that we had in the beginning of this year. So was Sami. Sami like called the altcoin season top there. He even called the Richard Hart asset tops in one of his videos. He's like, oh, this is it. We're going into like, what's the next stage after Euphoric? I can't remember. But he called it perfectly, dude. And so a lot of these guys are smarter than us. I don't know, man. I feel like this is the time to be accumulating the RH assets. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of us, I just stuck with it, you know, like how much I can do.
Sure.
I just rode it all the way up, and then I rode it all the way down. So
and
now
not
I'm just
everyone's
like,
gonna make it either. Like, I mean, you're gonna be happy in the end of the movie. You will be, but not everyone's gonna make it. A lot of people.
Yeah, I can hear the popcorn in a far away, like they popping, you know, like I can start it smelling it.
It's gonna be a good
Hopefully,
movie.
I can munch it soon.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good movie. Yeah, and not everyone is gonna make it. Not everyone's gonna stay on the rocket ship, man. They're gonna.
For me, to be honest with you, you know, what would be the happiest ending? If I could visit you in Puerto Rico and not worrying about how much it's gonna cost for me and my wife and our little doggy, and then I could invite you to Switzerland or, you know, one of the European cities, you know, maybe go around, you know, show you Austria, Hungary a little bit, you know, and do these kind of things on our own terms without, you know, worrying about time or, you know, how much it's gonna cost or what we're gonna do. Like that would be my happiest ending.
True freedom, man. That's
yeah.
one of my biggest whys, right? Like it's getting true freedom to be able to do what we want with whom we want, however we want, when we want. Like that's massive. It's
freedom and quality of life. Quality of life. Because I met recently a few really outstanding individuals. Some really bad shit happened to me as well, unfortunately. But you know, I'm just trying to deal with it. But this guy, for example, Oscar, he's fantastic. He generated 40% on stocks since March.
Oh, it's
which
great.
Is like, man, I'm like, yeah, take my head off on that. You know, if you give your money to a hedge fund and they give you 8-9%, you should be like, hey, celebrate it. Hey, I got my 9%. You know? So he's doing really well. So we're gonna help each other out, and we had a very productive meeting last time. But we both agreed on one thing. He's 49. He's 49. I'm 45. But we both agreed on one thing, that, as you were saying, freedom and quality of life is more important than what kind of property you have in London or whatever the hell you're living, you know. And then, I have this amazing condo with this beautiful view. But yeah, can you afford it? Are you truly happy that you need to cough up every month 80% of your income on expenses? You know, is that really truly what you desire? It's fine. It gives you safety and comfort. There's no question about that.
Fills the ego.
But
ego.
I don't think it gives you freedom and quality of life that much.
Yep. If I can buy time or buy a Lamborghini in a mansion, I'm gonna buy time every time. You know what I mean? Every single time, because I want to make as many memories and experiences with my loved ones as possible. I really believe I've talked about on the Timeless Show. That's what we take to the afterlife, and that's also the things that we leave behind. The stuff is just stuff. Like it's, you know, it's nothing. It's just going to turn all to dust one day. It doesn't mean anything, but experiences and memories do. And once again, we need wealth to do that, right? We do need some wealth to do that. Doesn't mean to go blow it on a Lamborghinis and freaking mansions. It means that you use your wealth in a smart way to buy that time. And then we need our health, right? I love that, you know, we have to tackle health, you know, at every degree as much as we tackle wealth. Because if you don't got your health, like you only have one wish, and that is to get healthy. And if you're healthy, you can have like thousands of wishes, like how that old saying goes. And so you got to have both of those things. And so, yeah, it's good perspective, man. It's good perspective. We got
Yeah, it's good to surround yourself with people.
Mr. Seven in the chat. You guys who aren't subscribed to him, go there, subscribe to him. And I'm bullish on 7G, bro. Thanks for showing up as always. We appreciate it. Support each other's channels. What are you going to say, though, Norbert?
No, I'm just saying that it's good to surround yourself with people like this guy, for example. And I met him through table tennis. He's not really an open kind of person, or chatty like you and me. We just started talking. I was, pretty welcoming. Hey, please, and then we played a couple of times. We talked, and I said, hey, we're doing this. If you want to join us we created like a trading thing on Telegram. I said, if you want to join us, we might work together in the future. I said, yeah, let's do that. And then, one thing leads to another, and then maybe something's good gonna come out of it. Even if it's just gonna be like a decent friendship, I'm already a happy person to have a quality, meaningful relationship with someone, like who you can is trustworthy and like a decent person.
Yep. I love it, man. I love it. What you got any big plans for the weekend, man? You gonna go touch some grass?
Yeah, I need to do that. But like I said, for me and the missus is always a bit trying to rest. We're trying to treat each other. Yesterday, I took her car to service it. I said it's my gift. Today, I took her car to the car wash, and I cleaned the inside myself, and then I also hand polished the whole car for her, so now it's like nice and shiny. And she's like, "Oh my God!" She's very happy. Little things, and I need to study because this week again. My weakness is my personality, and in trading sometimes I take it too easy. And yesterday gold was dropping, and it was like, okay, we're gonna bounce from here. Here we go. It's like, I don't know, like whatever lot, and then it dropped further. I said, nah, here we go. Now we bounce from here. Here we go. And knocked out again. Stop loss, and I lost like 4% in one day, and it was just so stupid and silly, to do it. And it's really, really difficult to make 4% on your account when you're trading, because you're going against the best of the best. But it's just like was a completely disaster. And in the morning, I started really well. I put my lines in. I prepared myself. It was like, okay, if we break this, that was in this triangle. Gold was bouncing. I said, if we break to the upside, then we're gonna go up. If we break the lower part of the triangle, obviously we're gonna go down. But one move I could catch nicely. Second time I got knocked out because it went up higher than I expected, but I didn't look at it because I should have expected it to go back to the trend line and go down from there. But I haven't done it properly. Got knocked out, and then obviously I had to work as well. I can't just trade whatever. Then the afternoon came, and then the whole entire market was just dropping like a stone. And it was just a silly move, And then I started like revenge trading, doubling down on the lot sizes, and then it was a disaster. So I need to learn more about myself. And I know. It's really stressful, to be honest with you, and really challenging. But it can be rewarding as well at the same time. If I overcome myself and beat myself, and then tame myself like an animal, like, no, you sit down. This is exactly what you're gonna do because these are the rules and this is what we can do. And if I can do that, then probably I'm gonna become one of the better traders. And until that, it's just gonna be like one step forward and two steps backwards.
Right. Until you reverse that pattern. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Right.
And, that's what we should do. 2 forward and 1 backwards. Yeah.
Well, cool, man. You guys want to still come back up on the show, man? Otherwise, we're going to end up winding it down early today. I'm going to put the StreamYard in the chat one more time. If you guys want to come on and talk. I understand probably a lot of you guys are still out in New York, which is to be expected. I mean, there was 80 of them, Norbert, that showed up in the courtroom.
Yeah, I heard really positive things about the judge was well prepared. Like she wasn't like, oh, what you mean by that? She was like, no. She understood the conversation. She was aware of several things, so it is definitely a positive outcome. And
did the blockchain hurt you here, Norbert, or did it hurt you here? Can you point to the doll where the blockchain hurts you?
Yeah, it's just And like as we discussed it before, like it's the same thing. If you would truly care about the well-being of the investors, then you could have done so many decisions previously to avoid many disasters to
He doesn't
happen.
give a
So
shit
why
about
you
the
need to
investors, bro.
why you need to be like a child, like, oh yeah, this person did that, just
Yeah, they don't give a shit about us, man. They care about that
no
30
one
million.
does. I realize that no one does.
Yeah,
Who is in
well,
who just jumped in? I don't know. I can't see
we
it
got Paul
from here.
Sachs. What's up, bro, man?
Hey,
What up,
Paul.
boys? Hey, how are you?
Oh, blessed, man. Truly blessed. How about yourself?
Not a whole, more than blessed after yesterday. Hearing everybody's sentiment, I'm like, all right, where's the bear? Come on, there's got to be at least one bear in this whole thing. I haven't heard it yet. So
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard any of it yet, bro. And that's why I don't think we're going to see any lower lows from here. We could drop down a little bit on the short time frame, maybe another 20% going into the election because of the uncertainty of the election. But then once that election happens and we get good news, bro, like it's all lining up so freaking bullish. I just can't believe like how people are not seeing it.
yeah,
Man.
I know. Since there's only two of you guys here, what's your most loved and what's your most hated? The one that you just don't feel very good about. What's your assets in the RH ecosystem? Loved and hated.
Well, Love is, I think Paul Sachs will end up being the dark horse over the course of the market cycle. So, like, that's like, I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I hold all of them, but I do believe Paul Sachs will be the dark horse. Man, my most hated, bros, is not really RH ecosystem, is Titan X, man. I can't stand that. But I have some coins, though. So, like, I don't have.
I guess hated's the wrong term. I guess
it's not
whenever you go to click the buy button, which one is the hardest that makes you cringe and take a second guess? And whenever you go to click the sell button, it's just easier to click sell on.
That's Titan X, bro. That's so easy to buy.
Titan X ain't what RH. That's just a revenge play. Like what? Like Normal was saying.
It's the same
That's just
community. It's the same community. It's in Titan X. It's in Zen. It's an RH ecosystem because these guys came in through the RH front door and left through the back door and took a bunch of hexagons with them. Like, it's the same community. That's why I lumped them together. But you're right. Now, RH assets, I don't know, man. That's tough, bro. Like, I think Pulse is a sleeper right now. I think Pulse is going to have a turn and people are sleeping on it. There's a narrative, oh, it's just a gas token. Richard Hart wants to keep it low because it is a gas token. And that's a narrative that's going around right now that reminds me of the same narrative. Oh, the sharks are going to keep dumping hex, this last bump up or this last two times. And then before that, the ink token. It's just a dump token. Man, so I think Pulse is going to have a moment in the spotlight soon. But I don't know which one I hate buying the most. EHEX?
Just kind of. Yeah, I suppose that's
EHEX. Like the one I'm like least confident about, but it has like the highest speculation.
If there ever was an ugly duckling, I guess it would be EHEX.
EHEX is the ugly duckling. Like, I mean, 80% of the community hates it. They point at it and say, "Stop buying this thing." I'm like, I'll buy a little more.
That's my wife favorite. She was always asking me which one is the cheapest right now. I said EHEX. Okay, darling, then we buy EHEX next time. I said, okay, whatever you want.
Yeah,
it's a good question, man. Good question.
I just wanted to judge people's sentiment because it's not that it's a guarantee as to what moves next, but it's just see like what you feel whenever, like, there's times like just like yesterday, everybody came out of the courtroom just like bullish as shit. Okay, what are you buying first, and what are you going? I don't really feel like that.
Paul Sachs, I buy first.
Okay.
Yeah, and then like I think, man, just maybe if I had to pick between the solid four, maybe ink because I have a lot of it. I have enough, but I think Pulse is going to be, man. Paul Sachs is going to be, I think, be the winner over the cycle. I have no clue if I'm going to be right about this. This is what I'm speculating. And I think Pulse is going to be one of the ones that moves hard on the next move up. So that's my prediction, man.
What about all the what about all the tokens that were forked over. Like
Yeah.
I'm per Paul's question, like which coin do you hate the worst of all the tokens? It sounds
I
like
don't know. TNI is such a freaking dumb narrative, but it's so strong. Like everyone believes it. So like you have to play the game because everyone believes it. Like a dumb narrative though. In my opinion.
All right. I haven't heard nobody's even mentioned whether they hate it or love it. I haven't heard Hex once, so that gives me a little bit of faith here. Thank you.
Oh, I don't hate Hex. I love Hex, man.
You said E-Hex, but you didn't say P-Hex, so.
E-Hex because the uncertainty of it, and that you just don't know if like RH is going to come back out of the woodworks. What if he starts live streaming and he just starts dissing E-Hex on the live stream? It's gonna crash the price. Like these are the uncertainty parts that we don't know. You're gambling when you're buying E-Hex. I think it's worth the gamble though. Like to put a bullet in. It's worth the gamble. I got some, man, but like, RH comes in live streams and shits all over your dreams. Don't be pissed off. That's all I'm going to say. You took the gamble. You understand the risk. The upside could be huge too, though.
Hey, Paul, are you building a streaming studio there, or
building a tree house?
Building it out?
Yeah, no, just downstairs in the basement. Just came in from outside. Got a dog that's obsessed with soccer, so he's out running around playing with it.
Oh, that's good. Well, that looks like you're touching grass today. Then that's awesome.
Yeah,
right. Earlier, you were talking about what would you do differently if you knew what was it you were gonna was the difference between time and money, and what would you do if you were to die? You knew when you were going to die. Was that what you guys were talking about?
Well, we know we're going to die, Frank.
It's just it's going to happen. It's a given.
Yeah, yeah. We're all passing one day.
Well, it's interesting. I thought about that. Somebody asked me that on Saturday night. I was at a party, and they're like, "What would you do if you knew you were going to die on on this date? 6 months to live, whatever." And I thought it was very interesting because you guys know me. I had surgery in January, open heart surgery, and that was that moment where I was like, "This could be it." I didn't know, and I thought, "Oh, that's an easy exercise." I spend more time with my family. Mm-hmm. I travel, and we'd have more dinners together, cook more dinners.
I love that.
It's like, what more do you want? And then I also had conversations with people that I hadn't had conversations in a while. And I just reached out to people that I,
sparking those relationships.
Yeah. So that's it. I mean, that's in the basic, very simple. I know people would say, "Oh, I would travel. Oh, I'd buy a bigger house. Oh, I would, do all that stuff," which you can. I mean, even before my surgery, I went to Miami for 4 days by myself because that's what I wanted to do.
Awesome.
So anyway, and what will happen too is all of us on the other side of this bull market, we're going to have a lot of freedom. So I think it's really important for people to start writing down what they want to do. Keep a journal, keep pictures in front of you, myself included. Keep reminders. Have people hold you accountable. Have people say, "Hey, you said you were going to Ireland. Now go." "Hey, you said you were going to go to Puerto Rico. Now go." Mm-hmm. There's nothing stopping you. So, hey, you said you were going to buy a new car. Go get that car. I'm just saying, like, that is the carrot for a lot of people, and the freedom. And don't be ashamed of having freedom, because look, Aristotle wore the best clothing and sandals, right? Philosopher, right? Why not have? I mean, I was just thinking this when I was heading in the office. When you guys were talking, I was like, boy, what would I do? What I would do? I would get a custom made. I'd lose about 5 more pounds, and I'd get a custom suit. Just like little things that like custom suits were everybody had a custom suit in the early 1900s, right? Tailors, etc. Now it's a dying breed. So all I can say is just upgrade. Think about whatever you can upgrade, whatever is imaginable you can upgrade. And upgrade it within whatever reason or means you have as we enter and as we go through the bull market and our intentions get fulfilled on our coins. So in all the RH tokens included. So yeah.
I love that. That's
stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
What a beautiful thoughts, man. Thank you, Frank. That's why we love you. That's why you are the wise, the
Thanks.
calm, the survivor. You're everything. You're all in one, man. But it's funny,
Yeah,
interesting that you're saying these 20s that. Sorry, Paul. Just a quick one. Recently, that was not recent. A few years ago, there was this series called Boardwalk Empire. I'm not sure if you've seen it. Big names in it, and man, those suits, the way how they were made was just impeccable. And then it brought out the shape, the personality of the person with those beautiful hats. So this is already on my list as well, to get like a decent suit, which is tailor made to you. And I'm not sure if you heard this conversation from Patrick Bet-David, when he's saying that he had it with his son, and the importance of saying, "Oh, I wanna do this and that. I wanna help the animals. I want my parents to retire and stuff like that." No. That has to be changed to, "I will help animals. I will retire my parents," because then you can make yourself accountable. If you say, "I want to," then you have like options to get out of it, like not being accountable and say, "Hey, I wanted to do it, but I couldn't do it because of this and this." But when you say, "I will do it," then you kind of make a promise and commitment to yourself that, it doesn't matter what, I have to do this.
One other thing too, that's well said, Norbert. One other thing too is, don't rule out art. My wife is all but dissertation in Russian art, highly educational background in art. We have a lot of artwork in our home. As you cash out of the bull market, you guys are talking about going into real estate. Don't fade on artwork. Artwork and valuable possessions, right? I can only think of artwork and paintings and stuff like that. But I would go on a shopping spree of really cool artists, and I would do it the same way now that I've learned how to buy stuff at the bottom in the bear market. Learn how to buy them. I'd buy them at Lowe's, and my wife always says, you buy what you love. You don't buy it because you think it's going to go up. You buy what you love, and whatever happens. But so anyway, that would be definitely on my radar, and just to have in our home. So.
Who's the Richard Hart of the art world? Who's the one that tells the truth and doesn't show you bullshit at the top?
And art's a great storage of value, man. I have a buddy, a real estate investor out in Texas, who does really well for himself, and that's where he likes to store his, because he enjoys the art. Like, to your point, he hangs up around his house. You go over there, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I bought that one for $20,000. Oh, I bought that one for $40,000. That one there's 10." And he has a story behind them all too. Like, every one of them has a story. It's like, "Yeah, I met this guy at this party in Europe, blah blah blah, and then I got this connection," and so it's really cool. And well, how much in value did they go up? I don't know. Start studying the asset class, right, and learn how that all works. But yeah, it's definitely a thing, man. And people do store value there. Yeah, buy NFTs is what CryptoLand said. That's what NFTs were. Basically the last cycle was that, right? It was just like people speculating on what they thought, and art's, it's everyone is art. What is the word I'm looking for? It's up to the beholder to determine.
The eyes of the beauty's in the eyes of the beholder.
Yeah, it's like people can call the NFT craze just all garbage and PFPs, right? Or JPEGs, but there was some creativity that went behind some of those, and there was some uniqueness behind some of those. And so, there's gonna be some people who will still value those. I mean, even Bored Ape Yacht Club, whatever it's called, like, even though it's down 95%, they're still worth quite a bit of money.
Yeah, I would say search for an NFT. If you're going to go the NFT route, search for an NFT that has one of two things: has a massive, ginormous community that bleeds over to normie mindset, kind of like Doge does. Doge doesn't make a lot of sense to us in crypto that are deep in the weeds, but average person out on the street, you can say Dogecoin, and they're going to say, "Oh, the dog coin." Yeah, so either that or something like a WhatsApp, or it doesn't have to be WhatsApp, but something along the lines of that, where it's accumulating value. So not this cycle or even this next bear, but the bear after that, you could possibly go and take loans on it and use it for collateral.
Yep. or
Yeah.
HSIs, right? Like those are financial instruments, especially if you're in the camp that Hex is going to be a multiple cycle blue chip asset, which it can be. Then the HSIs will be very valuable in the future. There'll be a financial instruments, that have been creating passive income this entire time. And I stacked up on a bunch of those HSIs when Alex first launched Icosa in the auctions. I was getting sub penny Hex when Hex was like around 3 to 4 cents back in the day. It was great. And now I've served that extra time since then, making them even more valuable, in my opinion, especially if Hex becomes one of the next blue chips. So,
hey, while you guys were sharing about the NFTs and stuff, you know what? I staked Astra DAO. It's on not Base, but on Arbitrum, and then they did an airdrop of the Lucky Dog token, and I think that token has some real potential. And I think that not financial advice, but I think that I don't even know why I'm bringing this up, but it was an airdrop.
It's a meme coin, and you're invested in it.
Yeah, good point. Decent amount of I got a fair amount of airdrop, and I think it's going to do 100x, or something better. I don't know.
That's a meme coin, man. I mean, anything can happen. Speaking of meme coins, we got Mr. Fast Abdul. You're looking quite dapper today, man. Pretty professional with the white wall behind you there. Looking like you're like in a boardroom or something. What's going on over there?
I'm actually in my bedroom because my office is under construction. So this is not my regular setup.
Okay. Under construction? What are you doing?
Sorry,
what are you doing over there? What are you doing over there under construction? What are you doing in the office?
Well, I'm building the office. I'm basically moving to my cabin, which is actually a house, and leaving the city for good. And I'm building my dream office on the front of the cabin, and with 3 windows facing the lake. I think it'll be okay.
Dude, are you gonna like have a party for us to come over there and check this? You always talk about it. This sounds like you're living in a pretty dope place. Hey, when's the invite?
Dog sled, and it'll be a couple portages with your canoes. But yeah, we could have a party.
Yeah, 2025. Can we make it a date?
It'd be the best fishing party you've ever had.
I would love that.
If you cast more than 3 times and you don't catch a fish, you have the wrong lure.
All right, and we can sit out there on these freaking canoes and talk about bribes and meme coins.
We could do that. Yeah. No, I would be, maybe not as a public event, but yeah, I'd definitely be down to meet you guys. That'd be pretty cool.
All right. I would love to hear your input, Fast Abdul, and actually yours too, Frank. Me and Norbert already talked about it. But what's your input and thoughts of yesterday's court proceedings?
I think it was bullish for the community. We don't have any real info, right? Like it's, and we have guys like Nuclear Herbs who, is a lawyer.
Who do decipher this stuff. Yep.
Yeah, who do, but like it's like we don't know what the judge is going to say. Like it's all an estimate at this point. I think it's bullish that the community showed up. Like thanks to everybody who showed up, and
awesome.
That was huge. I think even if whether the case gets dismissed or not, which is like in theory is supposed to be a long shot. It's bullish that everybody showed up, that it got so much attention. I think even like, let's say this goes on for 2 years. There's a scenario in my head where it's not necessarily negative because it'll give this focal point of community, and you'll just have 200 people showing up in New York like 5 times a year. It'll be like, I guess New York's the new home for the Hex conference until this case is over. Like that sort of thing.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's not all bad. So certainly, if the case gets dismissed, that would be very, very good. Whether that's the end of it or whether they bring something else forward is, I don't have that knowledge. But I think the fact that everybody showed up, and they're like, a lot of them are still there. Like there's like RG3 and crew are live streaming as we speak. So it is huge. So I'm hopeful for the future. Mostly the main thing I want out of the entire case scenario is I want RH to be able to come back to work.
I would
see him
freaking
scream.
love that.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I would love that, man. I mean,
You know,
that
I was listening to something today, and somebody ran a clip of him speaking again, and I was just like, I miss that guy.
miss that.
You know, I mean, there's some things, you know, the whole ladies' night thing that kind of was cringeworthy. But I don't miss that, but no, but anyway, but yeah, I miss his presence without question.
I think if we get him back, we wouldn't see the ladies' night as much and the outrage. You might still see a little bit because obviously there's probably some that stuff that he still does, but I don't think it'd be so. And I could be wrong because there at the end he was slowing it down anyways. And then even when the movie launched, he was like, "Look, guys, the RH with that, you know, I can't remember how you worded it. But the RH who was acting like a fool is dead now. The RH now who cares about blockchain and, you know, decentralized finance and freedom of speech is here." So we'll see.
You know,
I don't care how many watches the guy has as long as he's not twerking.
I don't care. Yeah.
That's it. That's my line.
Yeah. I used to have that like spinning watch cases in the back.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that at all. In fact, it looks good for when you're streaming. You know, it's not really. Yeah, I love that part too. So the Louis Vuitton bag
sells. Like that's part of the market. Is like if we put some hobo on the screen, you know, he's not going to pull in that many dollars, right? Like we want the rich guy wearing Gucci and with, you know, a Rolex collection behind him. That is who you want to be the CEO of your company. That's who you want, you know, in your marketing measures. You almost never want the hobo. There's very few products marketed to hobo.
Yeah, that's a very.
And this connects really well what Paul was mentioning earlier, and I really happy about that. What Paul said, that in life we always need to connect someone to something, or something to something, or something to someone, in order to remember what happened then and there. And you know, it's Richard's hobby. You know, he enjoys watches, just like my uncle when he was alive. He really enjoyed the quality watches and guns. So he was a big fan of those things. It shows that what your interest is in. And yeah, I think we should, all the content creators and even us as individuals, we should somehow narrow it down a few assets to what we can connect to. Let's say Hex, the new Bitcoin, BBC token is the PancakeSwap token on Pulse Chain, you know, things like that. If we could do that and push it out on social media, that narratives, that would help us significantly grow in the future. So well done, Paul. It's an excellent point that you made earlier.
Hey, when you think about all the,
I don't think it was me that said that, but thank you.
Came out good.
Think about this. How many nothing burgers have there been that we thought were going to be juicy, gigantic quarter pounders, right? The movie, that was a nothing burger. Nothing happened to price unless I'm
liquid loans.
You know, liquid loans, you know, certain things. There's been so many nothing burgers. I think that, you know, I think Pulse Chain is going to do what it's going to do, regardless of what happens and how soon things happen with the case. You know, so Fast Abdul, what do you think?
I'm pretty confident that we're going to keep ticking no matter what. Like you have builders who built all through the bear and who are still building into the bull. Like, and we'll have builders like many of the same faces, probably not all of them, who are building in the next bear for the next bull.
Yep.
Like we have a very established community. Like I mentioned this on another stream, like, okay, who's the top phantom influencer? And we talked about it. We decided it was probably Dollar Cost Crypto, who's one of the top Pulse Chain influencers. It's also the top phantom influencer, which he barely mentions because they don't have that. They don't have what we have. They don't have like doxed founders who you could actually talk to, who regularly go on streams. Like it's, you know, it's all VCs and, you know, and pump and dump, you know, meme coins on these other chains, right? So we have something different. So I think, you know, even if everything went the worst possible scenario, like something ridiculous, RH loses the case and loses all his money, and you know he's then a hobo, and then and then pulse chain goes down 99% from the current. Would it go away? No, it would still be here, right? Like 100%. Like there would still be builders, there would still be hexkins, like it would still be here, right?
It'd be like
my
basic.
example is, and this is a little bit ridiculous, but it's like it is valid. Like take a look at like hex on Ethereum ETH proof of work, whatever it was called. It's still there, right? There's still liquidity. There's like 20 grand in liquidity for hex on ETH.
Is there?
Yeah, totally.
I didn't even know that.
Like and for Hedron and for Icosa, like it's like half that chain is like is hex connected. Like, and Alex is still running his Icosa front end there. You can stake your hex on EW. People are doing it. Like there's all sorts of games that can be played over there with the same stuff that we're doing here, and it's like very close to worthless, right? Like per token, like it's still there. Like hexkins don't give up. The people who are on the Pulse chain who came with that community are not going to leave. The people who came just for the Pulse, like, they're a little more erratic, but like there's real money that's coming in there, and people get converted, right? Like there's people, like I was not a day one hexkin, right? Like that's, like I got converted along the way, right? So, and you get converted partly by the technology, if you understand it, which is certainly an issue for me, but like you get converted by the community, and you don't have to like them. Like you just have to see that there is community, and it helps when you like some people, but when you're like, wow, these guys are fanatics, they're not going away. Yeah, I want to buy the thing that's not going away. There we go. Red likes hex on Ethereum, which again is not going away. That's another great example. Yeah.
No, because you got people like me who like to buy moon bags of it.
There we go. Yeah. So I feel pretty confident that the worst case scenario is not that bad, and that like there is, in my opinion, like the best case scenario is really, really, really good. Like RH is pretty sharp. He could have planned this whole thing years ago. Like, do you think he didn't think the SEC might come for him when he was like showing Rolexes and twerking and and doing like taking in $80 million for a sacrifice, or someone did? Like my theory is that he knew, that he planned it, that he planned the biggest pump ever with the help of the American government. And if he succeeds on that, it will be the biggest pump ever.
Good marketing.
Yeah. But marketing paid for by the SEC. Thanks, guys. That was great. Of course, they'll pay back the court fees if they lose. And, we'll just, it will be the biggest marketing enterprise ever. They'll be so beside Donald Trump.
That's interesting you say that, because think about this. Anything that we create in reality, it starts up here, right? It starts in our existence. So the intention he had was created in a little tiny micro bit of whatever, years ago, and it's in his DNA, and it's playing out right now. So, and I've said this too, that we're all in his game. We're all interactive in his game of the product that he created and the products that he's created. So that's pretty good thought, Fast.
Oh, thanks. And if you think about it, like, I don't know, I look at everything that's wrong with RH products, just from like a technical, like devil's advocate angle. And like, you could look at like the easy things, like, okay, Pulse X doesn't have that many features. It's not very hard to add those features. People are still here. If he does add those features, like basically everything that's already on the 9-inch DEX, anything that's on PancakeSwap or Uniswap could be on Pulse X relatively easily in comparison to like some of the forks like Fux or 2Fux, Balancer, Convex. Those are way harder than forking everything that's on PancakeSwap. Like, he certainly has smart devs that could do that very quickly. Like 3-month turnaround, you could have the most advanced V2/V3 DEX with the lowest fees like in the world, right? Maybe 6 months, but it's far from impossible. So like maybe that is on purpose. I feel like it's on purpose that those things have been left out for now. And when they come in, oh, well, look out. It's going to be, it's going to be something to talk about. And that's going to be when everyone comes onto the chain.
Yep, I agree, man. It's he's strategically planning all those rollouts at the right time. Like, why roll them out? Why roll everything out now? It would make no sense, in my opinion. It's just where we're at in the cycle.
Yeah, hard to say, but like it could even go further. The other one that I've gone into fights with people about, but I think it's totally like 4D chess is the Hex OA, right? So there's the Hex OA account owns like basically the majority of the Hex. What if it suddenly burned all the Hex that was in there? What would happen?
Our bags would pump.
Our bags would pump. I think any sort of gatekeeping would stop. Any sort of argument about decentralization, anything that keeps out big money like VCs from other chains from coming into Hex, they're looking at that, right? Be like, oh, I could go into this coin, it's doing fine, it's low, whatever, but there's this giant wallet. Disappear that giant wallet, and what happens? Probably millions and millions of dollars comes in from Ethereum and buys it up. That's what I think, but that might not be true. I've heard other arguments for why the OA account is good. I think it would only be good for that. I think that would be the win of like you have this down pressure from an artificially created, likely intentionally by a really smart guy, issue that people focus on that prevents them from, FOMOing in and 50xing the price of the token. Something that could be disappeared in a minute. Like, how long would it take to send the entire Hex OA account to the dead address? I don't know. How long does the blockchain transaction take? How quick can you press the buttons? Right? Like literally, like 30 seconds, a minute, and it could all the OAs in the dead account, the entire thing. It's totally possible.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Taylor here. The OA wallet allows the yields we earn, though, by most coins not being staked. Yeah, that's it's true that
in the dead account, it wouldn't change at all. Right?
Oh, because it's not burned.
It can never be burned. It would just be somewhere else.
Burned.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just in a wallet that could never be accessed again. That's all the only difference would be. Yeah, it's an interesting thought process to think through.
I don't think that ever happens until the court case is over with, because I mean, that's one form of communication through the blockchain without being on camera. So,
to be sure, but like it's logical. Like the court case, why would you do something like that when you had the court case? The court case is step one. Win the court case, American government pays for advertising, right? Step two, build Pulse X to be the awesomest V2, V3 DEX. Step three, burn the Hex OA account. So it's gone forever. Like, man,
it's a slow multi-year step, but that's working towards Satoshi. That's disappearing.
But that's like, if those things happened in that order, in my head, that's 1,000x, right? Maybe the 10,000x, right? Like maybe he gets the 10,000x if that happened.
Yeah, Hex could be the next Bitcoin if that happened.
Yep.
Yeah, that's very good narrative there.
Excuse me, Norbert?
What's that?
I was saying that there's another narrative there. Hex can be the next Bitcoin.
Yep.
And then it will. I'm sure it will. You know why? Because Richard was not becoming famous and wealthy by accident. He became those because he prepared himself. He was always prepared, and he put the extra time and effort into the things, just like you guys. Corey shows up every time. Fast Abdul, now you are on Matthew Allen's show, and one of the leading members when that conversations are on. So because of those things, we're gonna be in extremely good position. We're just not recognized yet, let's say, because unfortunately that's the kind of world we're living in. Value is not appreciated through talent. It's just appreciated through how many followers you have, or what kind of memes you can do, or all these TikTok quick reaction kind of mentality which most of the people have. But I'm sure our time will come, and our community will grow with strong individuals who can create and contribute. Yeah, we're in a good position. On that note, guys, I gotta go because I got things to do. But thank you so much for allowing me to have the privilege and talk to you. It's always a pleasure, and I wish you all the best. On the weekend while I'm touching grass, I will definitely think of each and every one of you for
Okay.
sure.
Touch that grass.
Take care, Norbert.
See you later, Norbert.
Take care, guys. All the best. Thank you. Thank you.
See you, brother. In fact, I'm going to be winding it down, guys. You guys want to give any last comments, input, talk about the court case yesterday, anything you want, feel free to shill. We can start with Paul Sachs.
I got just nothing substantial. I mean, there couldn't have been a better outcome as far as a preliminary hearing for if the court case was going to be dismissed. That was the best outcome we got yesterday.
Yeah, it was like 100%. Like everyone showed up. They had an overflowing courtroom. They had like everyone was dressed proper and acted on their best behavior, from what I understand. I don't know if there was some fool making or not, but thank God maybe Fast Abdul didn't go because that could have been crazy. But like it seemed like it was good in as far as that's concerned. And then yeah, I mean all the statements I've heard or people have been talking about from Carol and the SEC and from the attorneys, man, I give it a very this is me personally, and I could be totally wrong because I'm wrong all the time. But man, I think it's a very high likely chance it gets dismissed.
I want to know, did Will, when he ordered 15 pizzas to the courthouse, did he feed the opposing side too?
I didn't hear this story. Tell the story.
So they all get out of the courthouse, and Will ordered 15 pizzas and to the courthouse to feed everybody outside. I guess there's like a park right outside the courthouse there. Yeah.
Okay.
And I was wondering if he tried to get the hearts and minds of the other side of the judge by giving them all pizza too.
I would have definitely tried to get one of those pizzas to the judge.
Let's talk grass.
Let's talk bribes, right? Now we're talking bribes.
Intolerant.
Go ahead, Frank. What do you got, man?
I said unless the judge is gluten intolerant.
And then you
no,
lost the case.
From what I've heard, it sounds like things turned out pretty well, as good as they could be. Shout out to Matt, Crypto Heartbeat, for having his largest stream, I think, ever. He had last I heard was 1,900 people on the stream. That's pretty awesome, and he was doing a marathon, so that was pretty cool.
It's massive.
Massive, and it's like as good as it could get. We just keep moving forward.
Yep, I love it. Fast, shill it, baby.
Let's go. So, there's going to be big things coming to the Pulse chain with the Fux Exchange and 2Fux Course. I'm going to read you guys a list of planned farms. They're not specific. It's just like communities. So here it is: Atropa, Tangang, Gophers, Power City, Texan Token, PTGC, Pokemon, P Copies, BitBoy, SolidX, Axis, No Permissions, PH ecosystem tokens like 2Fux paired with Fame, paired with Fiat, that kind of thing. Hex and Friends, so including like any of the protocols, Maximus DAO, Actuator, etc. The other RH tokens, so like Inc, PulseX, Pulse, liquid loans, Mafia, bridged assets from Ethereum or from other chains, and then more stablecoin pools with different stablecoins.
That's freaking awesome. Let's go. We appreciate the building as always, man. And guys, that's going to be it for us. I got a meeting in 1 minute. Remember, if you want to 10x your portfolio in the bear market, all you got to do is 10x your value in life to your fellow man and woman, and then you can 10x your freaking legacy through cryptocurrency. But guys, I'm out of here. I got to hop and touch some grass, man. It's the weekend. All you guys, go freaking touch some grass, have some fun. We had the best week we possibly could have had with the court case and the scenario, the way it played out. Let's go celebrate. Let's have some fun. I'm going to the beach. I know that. And guys, I will see you on the next one. Peace.